Okay. We'll now move on to public forums. First up, I'd like to welcome Mitch Shaw from Upstream, who will share some of the organisation's success stories and how it can help generate funding for local charities supporting young people. Welcome.
Kia ora koutou. Everyone hear me? Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool. Kia ora koutou, everyone. My name's Mitch. Used to be a youth worker in Hornby High School, and did charitable management for many years. So I know what community funding is all about, writing grants to the council who've been hugely supportive. But I want to talk about Upstream and Otis, our sustainability management software. And I want to say thank you to you guys. To be honest, council's leading the way, I believe, in the sustainability space for construction sites, mainly because of the involvement we've got with Te Kaha Stadium. So you're going to hear some success stories today, and a big thank you to you guys. First of all, you don't know, Upstream is a supply chain. It's a supply chain of services and products that, when used, has a knock-on effect. So it generates funding for local community groups at the same time as those organisations or companies are using that procurement. So it's a win-win. Basically, community groups are going for that little purple slice that represents $700 for every million that the private sector is making a profit on. So that $700 is highly contested by charitable trusts, all hunting for that little purple slice. What Upstream did was, we said, after we were talking to companies in our local community, we're like, man, we're not going to go after that purple slice. We're going to actually present an opportunity for the big blue slice in the middle, which is called Upstream. These companies, these organisations are spending money on something. Most of the time it's wages. Can we offer them something else that has a pre-brokered arrangement that, when you used our cleaning company, a slice of that goes back to the community sector. If you used our waste company, our signage, our merchandise, our trades, our subcontractors, a slice of that goes back to the community sector. And since then, it's just taken off. Basically, the little business model that we call a social enterprise, we're owned by charities. Upstream is basically looking for customers. A customer could be someone at home. A customer could be a charitable trust itself. A customer could be the council. A customer could be the council's procurement. When you put out a tender, you're saying, what good are you doing around non-broader outcomes or non-price attributes? Absolutely, that main contractor should be articulating the good they're going to do. And Upstream is a practical way that that contractor can articulate it. When they use our suppliers, a slice of that goes to the community sector as a result. And this is what we've done. So I was still doing youth work in 2018, 2019 when I dreamed up this idea. Most community grant funders are telling you to jump and start social enterprises. Well, we were one of the ones that listened and did. And since then, we've generated over $7 million in revenue for the private sector. So this is a massive win to our suppliers that are a part of our community and our supply chain. At the same time, it's generated over $400,000 in community funds as a result. That didn't exist without that transaction happening, which is the equivalent of 17,500 community hours as a result. So year by year, we're generating funds each year. That's a record from the previous year, and that's coming from 70% trail. So we call that sustainable fundraising, because the more that transactions we can generate, a lot of those are actually ongoing. You think of insurance premiums, you think of cleaning quotes that are 3 years, you think of waste contracts that I've brokered 3 years ago. They are still paying us a little trail that we can put to the community sector. So we're projected to do a fair bit of money 5, 10, 20 years' time. Our dream is pretty big. We'd love to match what the council's giving in grant funding with social procurement money coming through Upstream. So basically, as a nutshell, Upstream is take action. This is the supply chain you want to use if you want to generate social and sustainable outcomes. We built sustainability software that our suppliers, our subbies, our main contractors are starting to use, because they need to track and gather broader outcomes around diesel and electricity and some of these other areas at the same time. So as an example, you might recognise some of these suppliers in the supply chain on Upstream. We started picking up Tier 2 and Tier 1 contractors working with us. In Otis, which stands for Our Actions Tell a Story, it's an acronym. Basically, we're trying to inspire our main contractors, being Bessex Watpac, South Base Construction, Argus Group we've been involved in. These are big players in our city, in saying what are the good, how are you articulating the good you're actually doing, because people want to know, right? So here's a couple of stories of really cool outcomes. So B6 Wattpack partners with Upstream. We have to do all the sustainability reporting, all the diesel tracking, all the transport tracking, all the waste, the electricity, the water management. We have to do all the social good that they're doing through their supply chain. And simply, we brokered a deal with their cleaner, gives a percentage each day. The toilet paper that's used in the portaloos benefits the community sector as a result. The barbecue got brokered. The butcher's sausages got brokered to actually generate some money for the community at the same time. Peter Timms is a generous guy. And basically, it's the equivalent to 100 hours of youth work as a result of some really minimal procurement that we've been able to get over the line. Imagine if you could get the supply chain doing one transaction each. What could that look like? Another one, I want to say thank you to the council. So we have a solar supplier. We have a deal with him that he gives us a percentage of the tender that were converted come through. And Matatiki essentially had the solar panels that was out for tender. He put in, he said, look, this is my commitment to the Hornby High youth work across the road. This is the result that will happen as a result of Upstream. And basically it generated $2,500 in one transaction. One transaction that he could put into the tender, and that was the result. So I want to say thank you, because whoever recognised that commitment, we're the guy in the middle that has to go to that solar supplier and say, right, you owe us $2,500, and we want to make sure that the youth workers across the road benefit from that transaction as a result of social procurement. So it's a massive thank you to the council. And our dream is basically you have a supply chain that all applying for tenders. Imagine the tender money being harnessed so that actually the community sector benefited. These main contractors are wanting to do good. We're just a practical way that we can empower them to do that. So for me, I think I want to leave you this question, but also I want to say thank you. People like the community grant advisors, all the people that have supported me as a youth worker to get to this point. Heads of sustainability, Tyler, Mark, people, Sarah Templeton, advocating for our software. Anyone that's actually got recognised Upstream and put it into a conversation. I just want to say thank you for where we've got to, but I want to leave you with a future in mind. What if we could harness procurement to actually generate a better outcome for the community sector? And I'd love to leave it open if I've got time for any questions. So.
No, that's a fantastic, brilliant initiative. Thank you so much, Mitch, for what you're doing. Unfortunately, our timer is vanished.
Oh, so I get to start again, Phil?
No,
Is that what you're saying?
I got news for you, and it's all bad. So thank you. It's used up all the time, but very, very good presentation. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Anyone's got any questions afterwards, come see me or get in touch with Rose. So
good on you.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Okay, so next we'll hear from Paul Lonsdale, Sean Stock.